Hi, good morning all. So I still have started these classes, constraints. So in the constraints were completed, not null, check constraint, unique constraint and default constraints. Okay. So not null means that will be only for the column level only. So column should not contain null value 1 while inserting. And check constraint means based on the search condition. So it will be like between or in operator we can use in the check constraints. So there must be some value we have to verify within that range only the column value accept the data. Check constraint could be table level and column level, but not null only for the column level only. Next we have the default. Default means whenever you are missing the column, so whatever the default value you mentioned, that value will be inserted automatically into the table. Okay. Same way, unique key. So unique key means that is on the based on the column level is there and table level is there. Column level means only for that column. So in that column it should not be any duplicate value. It will not accept. And table level, unique key, table level means on the combination of the columns which we are selecting. On that column combination there should not be any duplicate value. But it should contain individual columns duplicate. Whenever you are using the unique key with the table level, so columns it may contain duplicate values also. But combination of the columns it should not be duplicate, and it will allow null values also. In the unique key it will allow null values. Okay, next we have the primary key. This is the primary key constraint. It is used to define the key column of the table. Okay, it can be used only once in a table. Primary key can be used on only one column on the table. It will not allow null values and duplicate values into column. So means like in the unique key means it will be not allow duplicate value and but it can allow null values. Whereas primary key both null values and duplicate values it won't allow in the column. It supports with an index automatically. Numeric columns are preferred as a primary key than the character columns. Okay. So this is also we have the column level and table level. So column level means you have to provide the at the end of the column we have to mention that constraint name. Create table xxemp primary key underscore 10 I'm saying. Okay. Employee number, employee name, salary. So your employee number I'm taking as the primary key constraint. So that means in this column, employee number column, it will not allow duplicates and it will not allow null values. Okay. Table is created. Now if you insert some values into this, insert into primary key table. So values 2000 I'm giving a 5000. Employee number I'm giving 2000. Name I'm giving a and salary 5000. This is accepted. Same as suppose if I mention here same 2000 and name null I'm giving and salary 6000 I'm giving. So is this accepted? So primary key we are taking so that same value in this employee number column it won't accept. We have to provide some other number. So 2001 I'm giving and name null I'm giving, salary 6,000 I'm providing same way. So then it is accepting. Suppose now I'm giving the B here, say 7,000 and 2001 same. So now also it will throw the error. Why? Because already 2001 we are inserted one record with this employee number, so that it won't accept it. We have to provide 2002. So likewise, suppose if I mention null value here, null C and some 8,000. Then also it will throw the error. What is error? It is throwing an attempt was made to insert a null into previously listed objects. These objects cannot accept null values. That is here cannot insert null into this column. Table name dot column name. Okay. When you use the primary key, so in the column level, so in that column it won't accept the null values and also duplicate values. Suppose I am going to create one more table, that is xxpk constraint underscore 10 serial number, primary key I am taking, sname not null, branch unique, marks constraint name, that is pkch constraint underscore 10 I am giving, check constraint, that is constraint type is check constraint, marks between 0 and 100. So table is created. Here I am taking the how many constraints? Primary key constraint, not null constraint, unique key constraint, and check constraint. All are at column level only. So insert into this table name values 1A CSE 87 I am giving. So as per the serial number, in the table there is no data initially, so that it is accepting 1, and S name is A and branch is CSE I am giving, marks 87. So this is inserted. Now one more record will insert, that is values to be CSE 87 same. But here serial number changing as per the primary key. So serial number is no duplicate, and S name as per that not null value it is there B, and branch it is unique it is saying. So branch means that is already CSE is given in the previous record. Now again we are inserting CSE for this record also, and marks 87 I am taking. So between this check constraint only, but as per the branch it will throw the error. Okay, unique key constraint error here. So that we have to provide the branch name also separate here. Suppose I am taking another record, so that is values 1 comma a comma triple I am giving. Here as per this primary key, so it should not allow 1 again, but not null for this S name, okay, and branch also triple I am taking, so there is no duplicate for this CSE, and 77 I am taking marks. So now it will throw the error. Why? Because this primary key constraint is there on this serial number, so that again it will not allow 1 here. Suppose if I say 3, then it will insert the record. Okay, same way, suppose if I take the null value here, instead of this I am passing null value, and here I am passing C, and branch EC I am taking, and marks is 87 or 89. So now as per the primary key constraint, here null value should not allow. Okay, it is throwing the error. So suppose if I mention null also, same error it is mentioning. Okay, cannot insert null into this column. Okay, that means primary key column, it should contain some value and it should not allow duplicate value and it should not allow null values in this column. So while creating the table, suppose if I am giving create table XX tester underscore 10 employee number data type primary key and ename varchar2, that is also I am giving primary key constraint. So then it is throwing the error. Table can have only one primary key. Okay, remove the extra primary key, it is saying here. So table can contain only one primary key, but unique key, not null, and check constraint, default constraints, you can have multiple. So we have the create table xxstu underscore primary key constraint, serial number, primary key sname, varchar2 of 20. Table is, it is created. So now tell me, is this accepting? It will accept the value. Insert into xxstu peak underscore 10 values 100 comma naga I am giving. So is that value accepting? It will accept into this table or not? Tell me. So these values will be accepted or not? Okay. This row record is inserted. Now again I'm giving 100.
Value not accepted.
Yeah. This will not accept. Why? Because primary key constraint is there on the serial number. So it won't accept the duplicate number. So that I have to give 1. Okay. Same way, if I give null value here, I'll say here 102 and null value. This also it will accept. Why? Because on the ename, sname, so we don't have any constraint, so that it will accept the null value. Null I'm giving 102 again means it is already inserted, so it won't take the 102. 103 I'm giving. Okay. And the sname part I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Primary key I'm giving serial number 103 I'm giving. sname I'm giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this accepted here?
Accepted.
sname part. It will be accepted. Why? Because varchar2 means it will get the
We can give number and character.
number and character, so that it will accepting. It is. See this. Here it won't accept the duplicate and null values in the primary key column. Suppose if I try here null value, and if I say here then it is throwing the error. Why? Because primary key column it should not contain null values. Suppose we are having the Aadhaar card, so that and PAN card details are there. So if you are going to create some table with this details, so create table xxemp2 underscore 10. So employee name, haircut of 10 I'm giving. Employee number, number data type, and 4 characters only I'm taking here. Constraint, emp2 underscore, constraint underscore emp number, primary key I'm taking. For the, all that I'm using 10 here. So here, if you observe, for all the constraint, I'm giving the constraint names here. Okay. So employee number, number 4, and constraint emp2cl employee number underscore 10 primary key, and gender I'm giving. Gender means normally we will use the male or female. So that for that purpose I'm using the character 1 only. Constraint emp2c2 gender underscore 10. Check constraint, that is gender is in small m or small f or capital M or capital F. Same way salary I'm providing the number of 5 here. Constraint emp2c3 salary underscore 10. Check constraint, that is salary between 2000 and 5000. That means for this salary column, so range is 2000 and 5000. Between this only it will accept the values. So PAN number. So PAN number length will be 10 characters, so that it is taking varchar of 10. Constraint emp2 c4 PAN number underscore 10. Check constraint length. Length of the PAN number is equals to 10. Okay. And unique key not null also we are mentioning. That means PAN number should not repeat now. For one employee, one PAN will be there, and same PAN number will not be allotted to another. So that we have to use this check constraint with the PAN number should be, length should be 10 characters, and it should be unique key. So unique means it will not allow the duplicate values, but null values it will be accepted. So null values also I don't want to accept in this column, so that I am using the unique key comma, unique key not null constraints also. So on this PAN number column, how many constraints I am using? 2 constraints. One is 3 constraints. One is check constraint, another is unique constraint, and last is not null constraint. 3 constraints I am using on this PAN number. Same way, Aadhaar number is there. Aadhaar number it is having the 12 digits, so that constraint name emp2c5 Aadhaar underscore 10. Check constraint length I am checking. That means length should be 12 characters. And unique key not null constraints I am mentioning here. So that means on the single column, how many constraints you are mentioning here? At a time, 3 I am giving here. Check constraint, unique and not null. Can we give default also here for the PAN number and our Aadhaar number? Can we use the default constraint? Tell me. Can we use the default here?
No, sir.
Why?
Because Aadhaar and PAN are different. They are not related with others, no, sir.
Yeah, you
They
can
are
speak in
unique, no,
Telugu
sir.
also. If you have problem with the English, you can speak Telugu also, no problem. Okay.
అంటే ఆధారు పాన్ నంబరు ఒక వ్యక్తితో ఇంకో వ్యక్తితో డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి కదా సార్ ఎట్లయినా.
అవును. So that means the default is ఏమవుతుందంటే, if you give the default, so whenever you are missing this column value, inserting that column value, so for the all the records it will insert the default values. So it should not contain the duplicate value in the PAN number and Aadhaar, so that default we should not use this for this column, for this PAN number or Aadhaar number. But for the salary you can use the default. Okay. Salary and gender, here employee name you can use the default. Employee name also you cannot use the default. Why? Because if you use the employee name default, if you are inserting 3-5 records with the different PAN number and Aadhaar number, then it will be problem. So you should not use the default for the employee name and PAN number and Aadhaar numbers. Okay. So now I'm going to insert some records into this. So insert into xxemp2 underscore 10 values, employee name A and employee number 200, gender male, capital M I am giving, salary 4,000. That means as per this, between this range only it is there. And PAN number I am giving, some random PAN number I am giving here. That should be length of the 10 equal to or not. We have to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same way, other number how many? 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. As per this, here it should be 12 and PAN number 10 it is matching and unique key constant. Here first record means so there will not be any duplicate. So this record will be accepted. So second record I'm going to take as A again, but here I'll use the 201 and I'll use same M or you can use F and I can say 5,000 and same PAN number I'm using and different Aadhaar I'm using here. Then it is throwing the error. That means PAN card duplicate is there. So unique key constant, it is saying the unique key constant error violated. Suppose I will change the PAN card here. And but same Aadhaar I am giving. Then again it is unique key constant. Okay. So when this length here, if you observe here, unique key constant it is saying, and here the constant name it is taking as the sys constant. Is there any name we are provided for this column here? Constant name we are giving the for all the column, but here if you observe, this constant name is going to for the first constant, that is this for check constant, and for the in this column PAN number and other unique key and not null constraints, there is no name we provided here. Okay, so that it is generated, system generated name for this unique key and not null. Okay, suppose I'm giving the another record here, B I'm giving, and same way to 201 I'm using and male, and here I'll use 3000 and PAN number I'm going to use the different here and Aadhaar also I'll use the different. So as per this employee name I am taking B, employee number 201 I am taking. Will it insert? Okay, inserted. So suppose again I am taking the C 201 and F I am taking, and I will take 2000 and I will use 2D. So now it is, which constant it is saying? Unique key constant. EMP2, C1, EMP number 10. That means here. Okay. So there will not be any duplicate value, so that it is throwing the error. Suppose if I say 203, then it is going to insert into this table. So where we can see all these constants? all underscore constraints. So if I want to see my table only, then I have to give where table underscore name is equals to this is our table name. Okay, these many constants are there in this. This is the system generated name on the PAN number for the not null. Okay, this is also system generated on the other for not null, and this is the name which is given by program, that is gender. We have taken the name here. Okay, and same way this is the salary and check constant for the PAN number, that is length, and same way other also length it is there, and one more, that is primary key constraint. Okay, so and for this unique key constant here it is for the PAN and other we have the unique key constant also it is there, so that it is unique key constant name it is saying here. Okay, constant of unique key, and this is the primary key, and this is the check constant. These are all check constant. This is the primary key constant, and this is the unique key constant. If you see here, generated name. So this is the username. So this is about the primary key on the table level. So what about the, this is about the column level. What about the table level? Table level means we have to provide after defining all the columns. So create table XX CPK underscore C1 10 serial number S name marks after the column definitions. So we are giving the primary key constraint here, primary key and the serial number and S name. That means whenever it is the column level, it will check on this column only. So in this column, it should not contain duplicate values and it should not allow null values for the primary key. So here table level, so what will happen on the combination of these columns? Combination means serial number and S name. In this combination, it should not allow duplicate value and null values. But individually, it will accept the null values, individual columns. Okay, so insert into XXCPK underscore con underscore 10 values 1 comma a comma 90 I am giving. So as per this, there is no duplicate. This is the first record, so that it is accepting 1 a 90. It will accept it. Suppose second time I am giving as the 1 a 80. Then it will throw the error. That is unique key constant error it is saying. So suppose if I say null value here. So an attempt was made to insert null into previously listed objects. That is, cannot insert null into this S name column. Okay, I can insert B. Okay, one row inserted. I'll check the table here. Serial number, on the serial number we are having the primary key. Serial number and S name both we are having the primary key. So but here if you see, it is allowed the duplicate value. But here on the name it is AB, it is there. Means in the column combination 1A, again it is not there. Okay. Suppose if we give 2B
So, hello, sir.
70, then it will insert the record. Again, if you check the table, 1A, 1B, 2B it is there. Okay. So that means primary key on the table level means combination of the column it will not allow duplicate values. And individual columns also no null values it will accept here. Suppose here I am taking C, but for this I am taking the null value. Then it will not accept. Manaswati Naik. Sir, which column is primary key? So table level means on the combination of this column. Okay. So column level means after the column we are defining here like this immediately. So this is for the column level here. That means on the employee number column, primary key column is there. Primary key constant is there. Here in this table level means in the combination of the columns. Okay. Not on the single column. Okay. It will be on the combination of the column, serial number and S name. On this column, it will not allow the duplicate values. So primary key constant, it is on the combination of these two columns, serial number and S name. That means if you check this table, so here it is accepting the duplicate value in the serial number and same in the S name also it is accepting the duplicate values. Okay. But on this combination, you have to verify. Okay. So 1A is there. Again, there is no 1A. 1B is there. 2B is there. Again, there is no 1B or 2B. So in this combination, it will verify this. So not on the individual column, but in the individual column, it is accepting the duplicate, but it should not accept the null value. Suppose if you are trying to insert the null value here, it will throw the error. See this. Suppose if you are giving 3 here and here you are giving null value. So as per the serial number we are giving, as per the S name, instead of the name, we are giving the null value so that it is not accepting the null values here. Swati is asking, can we write not primary key?
Primary key, shall we write not, sir?